Okay, hey guys, in this episode I wanted to do my own personal Christmas wish list. And again, if you hear my dog barking in the background, it's because that's what she does and I apologize. So yeah, in my previous video I did a Christmas recommendation list, like things that I own that I recommend. And this one, it's things that I personally am asking Santa Claus for if Santa wants to deliver those to me. So they're probably things that I want to splurge on in the future or just keep talking myself out of. So we're just going to do a little bit of some window shopping online here. Prices may vary. Don't follow these price lists because they can change. But we're going to go to Amazon because I already have a Christmas list saved there. I guess we'll start here because this is already pulled up. Let me just make sure I don't have any personal information on here. I guess not. So this is probably the one thing that I am actually going to get. This is the other Boku Undo Sumi watercolor paint from Japan. And in my previous video, and videos, plural, I used the Boku Undo pastel palette a lot and I love it. And they have this other set here which are Japanese. These are Japanese colors. This is just a different paint palette, a little bit darker. I think I'm actually going to get this. I just love my other Boku Undo so much. They're a lot creamier than your traditional, like your Curated brand watercolors. I'm assuming anyway that these ones are going to feel similar to the pastel set. But yes, this is like the number one thing on my list that I'll probably get for myself. Curated does have this other graphite set. Woof, if I'm making y'all dizzy, I'm sorry. The graphite colors, these are interesting too. They just look a little, they look very graphite-y, and graphite's not my favorite, but I could be surprised. And how expensive is this? It's about $15. It's not too bad. So I don't know, it just kind of goes with the pattern. I really want the Boku Undo ones though. But anyways, wish list. It's just wish list items, not things that I'm actually going to get. I go to my private list here. So this top one at the top, this Kisho Japanese painting set, when I click on it, unfortunately, it's like no longer there. I think I could track it down on Japanese Amazon, but I've only seen one other artist who had this set, which is how I found it, and it's not there anymore. You can see it looks different here. Again, these are those kind of like muted, they look like they're just muted odd colors. And the one artist that I saw that used them, they reminded me of the Boku Undo sets. That's why I was interested in them, but now they're gone off of Amazon. So I'll have to do like a search and find one day. I'm sure that they'll become more available in the near future. That's usually what happens to art supplies. They kind of trickle down off of Amazon Japan and then they show up everywhere and you just can't stop running into them. The other real big thing that I really want are these Derwent drawing pencils. I have talked myself out of these for so long, and again, they're just those peculiar odd muted colors. They're like the opposite of pastel, but they still have that creamy look to them. I use the white one a lot. The white is great. I think I also have a weird pink color too, but I just texturally, they feel really nice. And again, that white one makes for a great white colored pencil. It shows up on all sorts of different mediums. So this entire set, it's usually pretty pricey, and I just keep talking myself out of it because really I only use colored pencils sparingly. So it's like I collect things. It doesn't matter. I'm a hoarder anyway, so I might as well just collect them. But I think this is going to be a big set that I'm going to get myself pretty soon. Oh, and then I learned over on like Mexico TikTok that Prismacolor, I always wondered why Prismacolor doesn't have their own pastel sets. And I know that Prismacolor is kind of like meh in quality. Like when you ask professional artists what colored pencils they prefer, Prismacolor doesn't really show up anymore. It's not like an absolute need, like I need this, but I do feel like Prismas are just kind of like your old reliable. So that would be something that I would get just as like a luxury, again, to add to my hoard. And then these things. So I am pretty sure that all of these, like the Holbein colored pencils, I love my pastel Holbein colored pencils. I think they're so cute. But the Brotfuner and this Color macaroon set keep getting promoted to me constantly via the algorithm. And I know that the Brutfuner ones in particular come in like 75 and 80 piece sets as well. These ones on Amazon here are the 50 piece sets, and I keep talking myself out of them. They're very inexpensive, and it's like, why do I need duplicates of the expensive Holbein ones for a potentially lower quality pencil? But I don't know, it's just because they're so cute. Like, I'm just naturally drawn to these pastel colors that I just want them. Particularly these ones, because they say macaroon on them, and for some reason that makes them so much better. But they just visually look like I need to put them on my shelf. Okay, and then this here is a given. I'm not actually going to collect these. This is like something just for like collectionism, completionism. Again, to just add for my hoard. All of this is just because I have art supply hoarding issues. But the Holbein Iridori Artist Gouache, they come in the 4 seasons, of course. I already own the spring set, and I know deep down in my mind that I'm never going to get through all of this gouache, but they do have the other 3 seasons, the winter and the summer and the autumn, and the entire collection would just be so neat to have. But again, I'm never going to go through the entire selection, but they just look nice. And they're very expensive. And this isn't really art supply related, but I have a large Lion King collection as well. And I like art books. I like Lion King merchandise. Somehow I do not own the art of the Lion King. Generally, this book runs for pretty pricey too. It doesn't look like it's super expensive now, but I have seen this book like blow up into the hundreds of dollars before, but miraculously I don't own it. I would like to own it. This is another big one. So I don't know, I feel like I kind of have like a love-hate with Schminke. I just don't think there's anything wrong with their products. They're a very reputable brand, but I don't think that their style of watercolor is usually my style necessarily. But they do have this vintage watercolor set, and they're just all odd muted colors. And I really like my vintage pastel set from Prima Marketing Watercolor Confections. I use that one all the time, and I'm really curious about the Schminke set. These aren't vintage pastels, it just says vintage set, but they just look like unique colors. Very pricey, very expensive. I think one of these paychecks I'll probably get this one to play with it as well. Okay, now let's go to my other favorite website to just look at because it's visually pretty. It's this Art and Stationery in Japan. Now, I haven't actually been able to order anything from here because I don't know. It says USA right there, but whenever I tried to order from it, it wouldn't let me. But I just like to look at it and browse at it because I could potentially find these items elsewhere. In particular, these Kusakabe watercolors. Let me see if I can find it in a different... And no, this isn't what I was looking for at all. But look at this. Oh, I have seen these like porcelain type of watercolors before. Is that what these are? Look at them. I don't know if those are the same ones or not, but I've seen the Japanese or maybe they're Chinese watercolors. They come in little round porcelain containers, and usually they're very pricey, and I've been really interested in them for a while. I've never seen a set like this before. This is the first time that I've seen this, and this is the Kuretake brand, so that is really interesting. And this website, it usually says it's not very expensive. Like they had at one point the Holbein pastel pencils for like under $100, but I haven't again been able to successfully order from this website, so I don't know its legitimacy, but it's just something to browse at so that I could maybe find it on like AliExpress or something later. And I have ordered from AliExpress and gotten legit products. You just have to be careful. But what I was really coming here to look at are these Kusakabe watercolors. These ones are granulating. I keep seeing these granulating watercolors like Schminke does them, everybody does them, and I don't know if my style, because I like to go for a more cel-shaded look, but I am interested in this Kusakabe brand. They're just, again, I don't ever see anybody use them. I've only ever seen them like on AliExpress, and I'm just curious about like their quality. At the box art on this one, they just look pretty. You shouldn't probably buy your art supplies just because the box and the tubes look pretty, but that's what I do. And here, see this website, it says that they got a sale. I actually got my Holbein the spring set, this one. I got it on sale on Amazon for like $40. When was that? It was earlier this year or something, so it was a steal. But you know, when these first came out in the US, they were up in the hundreds of dollars for those things. And I saw this product too on Japan's Sakaido. Sakaido is the Japanese big art store. And I saw this is a new Holbein watercolor palette. I'm probably pretty sure that I already own these colors because I think that they're just generally repeats, but that's new box art. I haven't seen that before. Look, I would like to one day get me a big poofy watercolor pen. I just think that would be neat, and Holbein's got one. I don't know about for $22 though. Oh, and these are unique too. I've never seen these before. I don't want these. I've just never seen them before. Look at, this is interesting. Sakura watercolor pencils with a pencil sharpener. I don't know anything about those watercolors. And what is this? Sakura Koopy pencils, 60 colors, all made entirely of lead. Interesting. Again, I don't want those. I've just never seen them before. I'm gonna go over to my, just your usual Jerry's Artorama. Jerry's and Blick are good artist websites, legit artist websites, but they don't have usually like the unique stuff, because I like to look at unique stuff. But the one thing that I have been looking at are these Lucas watercolors. And again, it's just because the tubes are so cute. Look how tiny and little they look. Again, you probably shouldn't buy your supplies just because they look cute. But again, they just look so adorable. Look at the little tubes. They're so expensive, and they're actually on sale because I've definitely seen these for $14 a piece. And I know that I could just get the little half pan sets, but look how cute that tubes look. I just can't get over it. And I don't really know anybody who uses this brand, but they're such cute colors. Again, just kind of like a luxury item. I'm probably never going to get those. I don't think that there's anything else really on Jerry's or Blick that I've been interested in a long time. Nothing on Stationery Pal. St. Louis Art Supply. So the St. Louis Art Supply is one of my favorite artist websites because, well, I'm in the US and they're US based obviously, but they also just carry weird, unique things. I don't know if necessarily they have anything that I'm terribly interested in either. I did see where they have these, I saw this like immediately. I was like, this is me. These are random pastel colors. So but St. Louis Art Supply will randomly like pick random pastel colors to you and then send them to you. It's like a surprise. So, list price $13.99. That's probably a deal. I don't know. Somebody will have to do the math on those, but I think I already own all the Schmincke pastel sets, and I think I've complained before in a previous video that I just didn't really care for them that much. Oh, but here's the other Sumi-e watercolor set by Boku Undo as well. I knew that I was missing it on Amazon, but I couldn't find this one on Amazon. So this is the other one. These are the shadow colors. So shadow pink, shadow yellow, whereas your other ones were, I'm not sure, reddish black, bluish black. These are black colors. And these ones are shadow colors. So I think I'm going to definitely get both of those. Okay, this other place too, Marker Supply. So primarily they focus on, of course, like markers and pens, but they do have art supplies as well. So Boku Undo, which I'm starting to become a big fan of. So this is where I got the pale color set. And then they have all these like pearls. I don't need the pearls. But they also have these ceramic ones. And I've seen these online and like people doing shopping videos when they go to like Japan, that they just have these on shelves and shelves and shelves. So they're probably not really that impressive. But just again, just look at them. Like they've got these dark colors, blue colors. I don't know. They're just kind of interesting. I think honestly some of those I could honestly probably use. I just want to know if they have that same creamy texture as the pale colors, because I really like that. Oh, I will tell you one thing that I kind of would like to maybe one day take a look at. Not necessarily Copic markers, but I know that Copic makes a, what's it called? Oh Lord, airbrush, Copic airbrush systems. I would like to try this in combination with like watercolors to see if it makes like a cool like background, because you know, like with Copics, when you use markers you can still get kind of streaky with your colors, and then watercolors you don't really get an even color, and then it's really hard to get a nice gradient with gouache. Even you have to put a lot of work into it. I'm just curious to see what the airbrush system looks like. So I think this would be something really fun to play with. I don't think $41 is all that bad for that. And this is weird. This is not something that I necessarily want, but I'm just kind of like interested. In fact, I actually think these are kind of hideous, but Holbein did that collab with this artist Yuko Higuchi, and I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. Like each of the paint tubes have like little characters on it. And again, it's not exactly my style. I just find it kind of like fascinating. So if I was like a rich person, I feel like I kind of need some of these. Some of the 10s are kind of cute. Yeah, and what I think is really interesting is this ceramic palette. It's ugly. Like, I don't really need that eye there, but the palette itself, look at the amount of wells in there. Like, I have so many like watercolors, but then you have to like pull out your different palette sets because there's not enough room. That's why I bought a bunch of little bitty like quarter pans for a bunch of watercolors. This one's got like a ton of little wells in it. I just don't think that you could cover it up. Like if it had a lid on it, that would be something that I would potentially want. Just scrape the eyeball off. Anyway, it's just an interesting collaboration. Not that I want it, it's just interesting. Oh, and then okay, so now I'm on AliExpress, and look what just happened here. This is that one set I think that I showed on. See, but I don't know if this is like the real set or not, because it shows this person holding these little like half pans. Like, did they chop it up? I don't know, but I think this is that one set that I had saved on my Amazon that disappeared. It just looks interesting. And here's some of those weird ceramic palette things. They're watercolors in, yeah, like ceramic circles. And I just think that they just look so interesting. Like that is going to make a stack somewhere. I don't know how you just be able to readily keep those available for you to use, but they even have these ones. I think these ones are Chinese. They come in little shapes of little moons. It's just so interesting. It doesn't seem feasible to keep around. Like, I want to try them. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it for my wish list. I will say that this Martini brand up here at one point on AliExpress had tubes of a pastel set color, but they were very expensive. Like if you wanted the entire set, you're going to spend well over like $100, $150. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But I did get their little Martini, their half pan set, which I showed in a different video. I just don't know if they're the exact same product. I just wasn't willing to spend that much money for those. And then the Supervision, this weird pinkish pastel set here. Again, I think that they had cool, unique colors. Again, you just have to be careful kind of like ordering from AliExpress, but look at those colors right there. So that's something that's been on my wish list for a long time too. I just could never like push the button to do it. But overall, that's probably just like this wardrobe mess. But those are kind of things that I look at when I look at art supplies on the internet. If you guys have any experience with some of these things, let me know. Otherwise, I will let you guys go. And I'll see you guys the next time. Okay? Bye-bye.